We have
Sure.
him.
So this was his sash from his graduation, right? 2012. And so this hat we got for him, but most importantly, it has the pin that was given to him during the football game at at the school at the Coliseum, right? When he'd during his preliminary, I guess you could say before they'd awarded the degrees, but as they were like progressing through that consideration process. And then, like I said, most importantly, one of the most important things, not most importantly, but like, I'd purchased this golf towel for him, and he couldn't he couldn't use it at the age that he was at. But like I said, he still would get on the golf cart, and go and do some putting and things like that. And certainly had this towel, which is like, which is such a meaningful thing to us, So,
Thank you. So again, so sorry. We'll go really quickly through these.
Sure.
And I think I'll actually, because you already answered some of these, I can skip some of them, because I know that like if he hadn't expressed it, then we wouldn't use that part, right? So
sure.
Can you talk about what you think the honorary degree meant to him?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think a large part of what it meant to him was a reinduction into the school's community. Certainly being part of that structure, and definitely, being part of a community that was once very important to him during a great part of his life. Yeah, absolutely.
And when you were talking about the golf towel, it sounds like once he got the honorary degree, he really started to pride himself on being a USC alum again, and like he re-engaged with the community.
Sure. I mean, I would definitely say that. Like I said, he was so modest, and he was a very quiet person. So, it was one of those things where I don't think he would wear it on his sleeve, but if people were to talk to him about it, he would certainly be able to, talk about his experience, and, both in the distant past and the more recent past, and kind of definitely kind of bridge the gap. Like I said, a lot of the things around the football games and the restaurants that they used to go to, and a couple of the buildings that were there when he was there, and the ones that are still there, right? So yeah, most definitely. Mm-hmm.
Great. And then can you talk about what the degree meant to your family?
Sure. Like I said, the degree was, certainly the degree and the process around it, the experience around it were an extremely valuable piece of our family's history, and it certainly will always remain that way. I think what it meant to us is, education is a very important piece of, of our family's history. Definitely a lot of that is cultural, but what I would say is it's kind of like, it definitely allowed us to, when I think about like future generations and carrying on a legacy, certainly at one point, our family places a lot of emphasis on education. And now that, he's received his honorary alumni status, it would be one of those things where if I were to consider continued graduate work, or, if I had any children who were to consider higher levels of education, it would certainly have a very different meaning to us. The kind of like the value and the nostalgia and the history of continuing a legacy that really, for all intents and purposes, wasn't there, at least in an official sense, prior to 2012. So, yeah.
Great, thank you. And then what do you think about USC not choosing to give the posthumous degrees?
Well, really, like I said, it's one of those things that goes back to what we said originally, which is something certainly that we would, if we were asked, we would communicate to the university more directly, would be that, like we said, the honorary degree and the and the experience around that were very valuable to our family and will always be. And, we would hope that people who weren't as fortunate as us, people who weren't able to participate in that process and, because their loved ones weren't with them anymore, would have an opportunity to have that same type of experience and add that page of history into their family's history. Definitely I can understand, we can all appreciate that and respect people's differences regarding the opinions that they may have around a number of different issues. I'm certain this would be no different, but it would seem as though the utility of awarding the degrees, awarding the honorary degrees posthumously to this group of students, far outweighs the utility of not doing so. And part of that would most certainly be, related to the university's, the university's mission, insofar as I can tell, which has a lot about, focuses a lot about enrichment, improving the lives of others and, improving the community. And that was something that, at least in our family's view, in our family's experience, and definitely in the eyes of the alumni who'd been so supportive, both, friends, definitely friends and associates that we'd had, doing this would certainly appear consistent with that mission.
Perfect, thank you. And that encompassed, I think, the rest of the questions we had. So that was great.
Oh, good. Well, if there's anything else that I can do, please let me know. And then super excited that you guys are doing this project. And it was so funny because I was reading through a very cursory review of the university's mission. And most definitely it's you guys are a huge part of living that mission and carrying it out. I mean, that it may seem so insignificant to other people who it doesn't impact as directly, but like I said, it has a big impact to us and the people that we know and the people that knew my dad. And like we talked about, improving people's lives in the community. It's a big thing that you're doing.
Well, thank you. And I really appreciate you being part of this. I'm sure it's not